My name is Danielle Yamashita. I work for a company called Nouveau Mode Hera, and I am the marketing and PR coordinator. I am salaried. Okay, so I do everything from graphic design requests to a little bit of invoicing, not as much, more customer relations, more than anything at the moment, and anything between the brand and marketing and PR. So I am the go-between between a brand and, say, a retailer if they need any marketing or advertising. Probably maybe around 5%, not so much in the finances at all in my company. I do everything else, from cleaning the garbages to creating graphics to PR and talking to local celebrities, but finances I'm not a part of. Okay, so I guess getting into where I'm at right now in marketing and PR, I had to go from a company where I was making a little bit more money as an office manager, not very happy because it's an office management position. I wanted to be a little bit more creative. So when I came into the marketing and PR position I'm at right now in my company, I had to take a pay cut. So obviously in that, I'm doing something that I love, but I'm not getting paid as much as I was before. So that's affecting my personal finances for sure. However, I know it will pay off because I do love it, and so I'll work hard at it and I will succeed. However, it's just getting to that point and getting the experience that you need so that you can make sure that you're worth the money they give you. So since I no longer work at my old job as an office manager, where I made a lot more money and I had benefits, kind of, that's a long story and another story. However, right now I don't even have dental, so I really don't have any long-term safety procedures for for me at all, which is not the smartest thing to do. However, I can't really afford it right now. With regards to retirement, I'll never retire. I'm my mother's daughter, so I probably won't retire, so it's fine. Okay, each brand that we carry, so I basically work with a jewelry company, and we promote and we do marketing, sales, advertising for these brands. There are about 10 brands. Each brand has their own list, rules, procedures that they go for in terms of graphics, in terms of their display setups and everything. So we follow those guidelines for each brand. Some brands are based in Switzerland, some brands are based in the States, some are in Canada. So depending on what their procedures are, we carry on those copyright or those regulations, and we carry out the request that way. The jewelry industry as a total, they all have around the same ideas on how to advertise. So it's all going to be fairly similar, but you need to set yourself outside of the box. And if someone actually kind of copies an idea for advertising or copies an idea for social media posting, then I take it kind of as a compliment. So I mean, the jewelry industry is very, very close like that. So in terms of advertising, it doesn't vary. I think the first thing is that you always need to communicate, number one, from your customer end to the brand and to anything in between. Communication is absolutely always key. I always try to have everything in writing as well, just to make sure that you have your back covered and your company's back covered. And then you have everything kind of there for you. You don't have to rack your brain and kind of remember if or what if this happened or whatever. So I think communication is the top priority, especially when you're dealing with graphic design requests. You want to make sure you have all the information correct so that you don't waste people's time in the graphics department on something they don't need. I'd say the next one is efficiency. I think that could be timeliness, it could be efficiency, but in general, you need to make sure that you look at the deadlines, you make sure that you take respect to other people's art departments or graphic departments on how much they have on their plate, and make sure that you address that accordingly. I think that's one of the most important things in terms of organization for say my job, I have to make sure that I have enough time to get the request from me to the graphics department, to the approval stage, to the second approval stage, and then back to me before the magazine deadline. So that comes up a lot, and knowing every project and having every single project on my table and knowing exactly when everything is due, I think that helps. When you go back to your retailer, you go back to your client and you say, no problem, I have it for you. It's done 2 days early. So I mean, that extra step that you take to make it sure it's early, make sure that it's approved times 2 or 3, I mean, that also speaks volumes to any clients or consumers. Financially, I'd say it is really tough getting into an arts position, especially if you're moving from a different position where you're making a little bit more money and going to the arts and making that step into something that you love. You have to live within your means, number one, and number two, it's worth it in the end. So take the pay cut, do what you love, and it will pay off as long as you keep focused and keep going and trudge on with no car or no house or living in your parents' house, or like it will be worth it in the end. So I mean, it's just one of the things you gotta buck up and just do.